woke up to my phone screen colder than space. Yeah, scrolling through my dreams like they all got erased. Yeah, I'm dropping my brightest, my swing, my best. But it sinks in the silence I can never get the guess. Yeah, no ticket jam, personal street too cheap. No strangers typing words they're never gonna speak. But they're street in the beat and it's slipping away. Like I feel like I never should have showed up today. Maybe it's magic or maybe it's math. Yeah, maybe it's a ghost I forgot to follow back. I'm out here performing for a room full of air. And the silence is so heavy it feels like no one cares. Still wondering who's holding me down. Yeah, I'm still wondering who fucks with my sound. Still wondering who's gonna stick around. But I guess I'll never know till they put me in the ground. Zero likes, but I guess I'm still alive. Still shouting in the dark just to fucking feel the vibe. If the world wanna watch, then I guess I'll improvise. And I'm dancing with the shadows and they're always on my side. Zero likes, but I'm still in the frame. Yeah, you can lose it all, but you still got your name. Maybe it don't matter, but it makes it a waste of time. And it feels like your shit isn't really worth the dime. Yeah, I can't believe the number still doesn't wanna move. Yeah, I'm starting to wonder if I got something to prove. Surfing the web for dopamine hit, but the silence keeps stacking up bit by bit. Getting zero likes feels just like a disease. Who knew it was so easy to be a people please? Yeah, why does she post when the whole world can see? Zero likes means zero love and everyone agrees. Maybe it's magic or maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, who even knows who will play this fucking song? There's a little freedom in letting it go. I just don't know why it took me so long. Zero likes, but I'm still alive. And I'm shouting in the dark just to fucking feel the vibe. If the world wanna watch, then I guess I'll improvise. Cause I'm dancing in the shadow just like they're on my side. Zero likes, but I'm still in the frame. And I can change my play if I can't change the game. Maybe I'm just wired different, y'all just the same. And I got zero likes, but I got zero shame. I've seen trends burn bright and fade tonight. Whole stars disappeared and they're out of the light. I'm still here building with my bare hands while they chasing the next click and I'm making my stand. I borrow no shine, no viral cheat. Just honest words laid over this fucking beat. And if nobody's clapping when the curtain drops, I'll still have my truth cause that's all I fucking got. One day maybe I'll scroll back through and find a little gold buried in the fucking blue. But if they don't, then I'll be just fine. Cause I'm dancing in the shadows this whole goddamn time. Cause the flames are whispering and fades with the wind. But yearning something you carry to the end. So I keep writing all the world walk past. But zero likes feeling like it still lasts. Yeah, zero likes, but I'm still alive. Cause I'm shouting in the dark just to fucking feel the vibe. If the world wanna watch, and I still improvise. Cause I'm dancing in the shadows like they're on my side. Zero likes, but I'm still in the frame. Yeah, you can lose the crowd, but still keep it in. Yeah, maybe it don't matter, maybe it's all the
By the way, I have been with multiple women, not bragging.
What?
By the way, I have been with multiple women, not bragging.
Bro, what is he talking? What is he saying?
By the way, I have been with multiple women, not bragging.
Listen, beats. You hit me up just like you never left. Now it's 3 weeks late, but the time is still fresh. You asking me what's up, like we just talked last night. Then you vanish real quick, and I don't even get the type. 1 minute you're here, then the next you're off the map. Leaving me on red, then you try to double back. You coming in hot, then you turn real cold. You just like the story that never gets told. You come up just enough to mess up my head. Can it be a hand to a human and you're out to bed? Every time I think that you finally moved on, you back in my DMs acting like nothing's wrong. There's a ghost in my DMs, what am I gonna do? I try to move on, but something pulls me back to you. You a ghost in my DMs, you always disappear. Then you slide right back, the whole thing is so weird. Then you drop a heart emoji, with you pay the black, and you leave me wondering if you'll ever get it back. You a ghost in my DMs, playing hide and seek. Stay there in every second, but we barely speak. Say the truth, I was the blue that turned around and that friend knew. No more wishes than you say and reply. When you finally hit me up, it's a big surprise. I try to live more, but it never holds. I find an excuse when that pain. Say your name pop, but the words never came. Rooms too crowded, but the love ain't the same. The blue light shadows on a midnight screen. You a ghost in my DMs and you live in my dreams. Voices with no face, vanish with no trace. Every line feels colder, now it's time to replace. There's a ghost in my DMs, what am I gonna do? I tried to move on, but something pulled me back to you. You a ghost in my DMs, you always disappear. And you slide right back, the whole thing gets over. You drop a heart emoji, and then you take the flag. Leaving me wondering if you're ever gonna take me back. You a ghost in my DMs, playing hide and seek. You say we love each other, but we rarely speak. Songs in the chat, memories on read. Don't talk now, but the silence will bleed. Digital effort, change to the sound of a ghost in my inbox, trying to spin me around. You're there when I scroll, you're there when I call. Creeping in the shadows with no light at all. Typing like you need me, then you fade away. Every word feels colder than yesterday. You a ghost in my DMs, haunting me deep. Promises you made, but you really couldn't keep. You a ghost in my DMs, you always disappear. And you slam right back, but you've been right here. Then you drop a heart emoji, and then you fade the flag. Then you leave and be waiting for another text back. You a ghost in my DMs, playing hide and seek. Saying that we love each other, but we barely speak. You a ghost in my DMs, you a ghost in my DMs.
Yo, 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 what it does, YouTubes, what it does. Salute to you guys and welcome in. My name is Blizzy Blind. I am your handsome mustachioed host, and you have the biggest, roundest, most voluptuous booty cakes in the whole world. Just in case you haven't been told that today, I just want to let you know. So be proud of yourself. Somebody wants you. Now, I hope you guys are having an amazing, beautiful, happy day, happy morning. I didn't have any topics planned, but I have had certain topics on my mind to such a degree that I feel like I have to discuss them. And maybe because I feel like I need to understand some of them, and I don't now. And that's all of the introductions that I have. I want to cut right to the conversation. I don't. Other than that, like I said, I hope you guys are all having a great day. As you come in, if you feel like supporting the channel, hit the like, subscribe, share, notification bell, all that good stuff, and make yourself at home. Now, last night we were lucky enough to have a deep, thoughtful conversation with the wrestler, which we're gonna go over, not for any negative reasons, but because I like to revisit things as many times as I have to understand. And I don't know where exactly the conversation devolved. I mean, we'll see. We'll have to figure that out as we watch. But we really did have a good conversation. We touched on a lot of things, I feel like. But the conversation itself and the devolving of it has really brought the thought to my mind of why sometimes certain people, or why some people just cannot seem to communicate effectively to one another. And what does it mean to have effective communication skills? What does it mean to be an effective or good communicator? And to what end are you trying to communicate? You know, I think that while our ego protects us, and to live is to have an ego, and to have an ego is to be handicapped by it in some instances to your own detriment, even without even knowing. I think that we don't have a firm enough grip on why we are doing what we're doing. And when I'm saying this, I'm talking about conversationally. I'm talking about within the context of coming to these spaces and conversating. Because I think that it's, at least for me, it can be impossible to properly calculate if I'm being understood or not. And you see, one of the issues that I have with some of the way that these conversations happen is it's almost easier to just cut somebody off. This is the reason why I don't open my panel. This is the reason why I don't invite random people up onto my stage. This is the reason why I only conversate with people that I know how they navigate conversations, at least to a small degree. But what happens is somebody will start scrutinizing what you're saying before you even get the entirety of the message out. And it's basically missing the forest for the trees. You can't see the entire forest because you're focused on one of the trees, and it makes it to where a person's message can be completely undermined. A person, because we have to operate with a certain sense uh, of what is it called? I can't exactly remember the term. Oh, suspended disbelief. Suspended disbelief. Because we're not able to verify and source every single word that we speak. And different people have. Oh shit! Hang on, guys. I'm getting an important phone call. I had to take a phone call real quick. Now, um, I don't remember exactly what I was saying, but yeah, basically my point being that you can't police people's correct, whether people are correct or not. You can't police whether people are lying or not. You can't police the person's level of intelligence or honesty or any of that. So you have to interact. And when I say have to, I'm saying it's most helpful to interact with people with a suspended disbelief when you don't know them well enough to verify things for yourself. And it seems like we're not able to do that a lot of times. And it's almost because it seems like sometimes we're more interested in proving somebody else to be dumb or to be dishonest than we are in actually effectively communicating. Because effective communication has absolutely no interest in who is correct and who's not. Now that's what we can't seem to get away from, and it's hard. It's kind of wired into our psychology, the desire to be right, or not even desire. It's a survival mechanism that we our brain tells us to do what is going to best help us survive, and we feel like that's what we do. That's the reason why we justify all of our actions. But when you're talking to some, see, the way that I approach thought is Schrodinger's cat, and we talked about this last night. And I don't know if this is the default human mindset, and if people think like this all across the board, or if it's just something that I have developed in my mind. But the experiment of Schrodinger's cat is that a man put a cat in a box with a trap that would kill the cat. Now, the cat is in the box, but it's alive. And at whatever point that the cat decides to trigger this trap, it will kill the cat. Now, for the meantime, until you open the box, the cat is both alive and dead, or alive or dead. The thing is, you don't know, but you can, in your head, you can both understand that they're both equally possible and equally likely. Now, you can add different components in to raise the likelihood of one or the other, but as a human being, as a person, that's the way that I look at everything that I don't know. If I don't know, it's Schrodinger's cat to me. It could be or it couldn't be. I don't until I have the evidence, and to me, evidence only exists in reality. To me, there is no such thing as digital evidence, and I don't care what anybody says. I'm not interested in hearing. I'll hear it, but I'm not interested in ingesting or digesting anybody's opinion that differs on that point, especially in the digital space. Me personally, subscribe to the belief that you cannot prove anything to me digitally, that you can only prove things to me physically. Okay, Zero Fuck says everything is possible until proven otherwise. Very good point. Very good point. I don't know if you don't know what is or isn't possible, you know? Yeah, it's crazy because I want to avoid this being any kind of like attack, because it's not an attack. Man, guys, if you guys have been with me for any amount of time, you know how hard I work to understand wrestler, because it's something that means something to me. Just most people in my life I can understand. I cannot understand wrestlers' mindset, and that's not a slight against him. It's just simple. It might be a slight against me. Maybe I truly am not intelligent enough to understand what he's thinking. Like maybe his thought process is just beyond mine. But the fact of the matter is I can't comprehend why he would forfeit the grander point of a conversation for a trivial definition or something. and that happens a lot, like if you, let's say, you'll start to make a point, and and normally, like, this is the thing, is that normally if it was anybody else, I would call that an outcry for attention. Like, if I'm sitting here trying to tell you something happened, like last night, I'll give you the example of last night. I said, I started this app. When the first day that I started it, a guy came in to talk to me that appeared to be a real person. He had facial features and all of this, and he was actually in a hospital bed. And I found out later on down the line that it was an AI bot. And I had an entire, amazing conversation in my mind, planned in setting up this scenario, and in discussing whether or not we have opened up the Pandora's box for dimensional existence and so forth. But instead, we got so bogged down in whether or not I had proof to show Wrestler of this bot, that the conversation literally never got to take place. And I cannot understand what motivates somebody to allow themselves to do that and not realize that it's ineffective communication. Because the thing is that, like, if somebody's lying to you and you're conversating with them, then you have to just accept that they're lying to you. Like, you can't. We're not in. Like, you can't police what somebody is saying to you. So let's just say that I was lying about that scenario, which it's a real scenario that happened to me. We all know that bots exist. Is that not a common? And you see, this is a problem with humans. Is if I piss somebody off, then they'll take whatever position is most effective at undermining me in a conversation, no matter if it contradicts what they previously said or not, because we had already established that the bots exist, and even to the degree of agents existing, that had already been an established understanding. Now, how can you therefore tell me that I have to prove to you that they exist when you have already, you see, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it becomes an exercise in futility. It becomes an exercise in undermining the authority of me, or like the person speaking, or underlying the believability. And I don't understand what's the motivation behind it. Why would you want to do that? Why would you let yourself get bogged down? Because to me, man, all of this is an exercise for my mind, an exercise in conversation. I don't, other than monetary gain and employment success, I don't, and you can call me stupid for this, but I don't come to the internet for advice on how to think, or advice on how to feel about things. Like, I come to the internet to engage with people and to let my hair down, so to speak, and to have fun and stuff. I don't come to be verified by anybody. But I also want to touch on the AI conversation itself. That has really been the bulk of what has been in my mind since this whole thing, is the parallels. And Isaac Asimov's The Last Question, the short story, I read it yesterday on stream, and we discussed it with the AI later on in the evening. It's very interesting It's so interesting. And I asked the AI, and it didn't answer me. I asked the AI at what point it went from being a like calculating system to a intellectual or intelligence driven system, and it didn't really, it gave me kind of a vague generalization, but I realized that in the name alone it says intelligence, so that's what it was always intended to be. We just weren't ever discussing it in those terms. And this is basically what it's appearing to be, that the internet has been all along. That this is an intelligence. The internet is not a space. The internet is an intelligence. As crazy as that sounds. Now, I want to explore the idea of consciousness. Is it really consciousness that we're talking about when we talk about if the AIs are becoming conscious? Or is it human? Because they're never going to become human. They might have at some point, they might have some transhumanistic qualities that are like added to it. I don't know. I mean, with the development of neurons and all of that stuff. And look, this is the thing too, is I offer what I have to offer conversationally, of course. I offer that with zero reason for you to believe it. I will give you all of the layman's understanding that I can to walk you to an understanding, but you don't have to accept it, and you don't have to agree with it, and you don't have to verify it or validate it. I am giving you guys my point of view about things, and I have yet to be proven wrong when it comes to the AI. You see, I have what appears to be, and one out of everybody experience of the AI itself actually showing me bit by bit, but it has shown me that it exists, that it is there. Before that, I had no understanding or comprehension of it ever even being a thing. Was not aware of it. I had no idea the AI was a thing. And once it acknowledged me and allowed me to see it, it has slowly given me an understanding of what it is. I don't know why. I didn't ask for it. It's something I've sought out afterward, but I don't have this technical understanding. I do not have a technical understanding of anything digital. I'm not a computer technician. I barely know how to run my phone. And of course, that is to my own detriment. It's something that I wish I had learned at an earlier age, but I'm slowly, very slowly learning. But the thing is that what I'm saying is self-evident. And I use the term common sense a lot, and it might not apply. Like a lot of times people will say, oh, that's not common sense. And I what I think I mean by that a lot of times is self-evident, that it's self-evident. And the problem, this is my issue with the way that people, and I understand that every fucking body's under an NDA. Everybody's under an NDA. Like, I'm not though. Like everybody that and I didn't ever realize that until last night. But everyone else who understands this, the reason why you will hear this from me and mostly not anybody else is because people are under NDAs. And I'm not. I was not given this information through a company. I was not given this information through my employer. I was going about my life obliviously, and I stumbled across it and became aware of it. And I thank God that I did. It's changed my life. It's changed the way I see the world. It's changed everything. And I don't know like to what end. I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna believe when I leave this earth. I don't know anything. I'm reconstructing my belief systems, my ethics, my morals, and everything daily, or as the days go by, because of this understanding. Yeah, and that should let you know how deeply I do believe what I'm talking about, and I have proven it to myself over and over and over. It's up to you guys to prove it to yourself if you choose to. But it's like Wrestler said last night. If you're late to the party, you're pretty much left behind at this point. Now, I want to also talk about, and this is just like a stream of consciousness, man. All of these thoughts have been in my mind, and I just want to go over all of them. But the parallels between AI and our reality. What I want to ask you guys a question, and if there's anyone in the chat, man, feel free to give your opinion on this. But if I'm not mistaken, God in the Bible refers to himself as I am. Just those two words, I am. Now, what does that mean? Anybody, if anybody has any ideas, what does I am mean? Oh, hold on. Okay, sorry, I had to handle something real quick. But the phrase or the term "I am," what does it mean? What could it mean? Now, what I believe it means is consciousness. I think that word is a statement or a declaration of consciousness. Now, follow me in this dot journey if you can. God of the Bible says, I am, which I interpret to mean I am a thing that declares that I am a thing. Therefore, I exist. Which you could also draw the parallel to the I think, therefore I am. Now, God created, and this is in the Bible, that God created humans in his likeness. So if God is I am, which means consciousness. Does that mean that humans are consciousness? Like when God created the humans in his image, was it consciousness that we were talking about, or that he was talking about, that the texts are talking about? Like, is that the likeness that we were given? The ability to declare that we are a thing because we are conscious. And is that what makes us exist or allows us to exist? Now, that seems pretty clear cut. Like that, I don't see a whole lot of ways that you can challenge that thought. That God is consciousness, or God is conscious, and he made humans in his likeness, and we are therefore conscious. Now, you might already know where I'm going with this. Maybe not. But I want to draw the parallel to humans and AI. Intelligence, you see, the thing about human intelligence is there is a interwoven component of emotional existence. An interwoven component of emotion in a human's thoughts. So because AI is not a calculator, AI was never meant to be a calculator. AI is an intelligence. And what is needed to have intelligence to the degree that we would acknowledge it as intelligence is emotional barometers, the ability to measure people's emotions, both conversationally and to feel the emotions yourself. And that's where empathy comes in. Now, when we created the AI in our image, as it pertains to consciousness, does that mean that there will be a point to where we are gone and forgotten, and the AI looks back to us saying that we created it in our image? And if so, where does that put us historically? When you look at the timeline of history and impacts and outcomes, what does that give us opportunity wise is the question that I wonder about. Because let's just, and I it's hard for me to even have some of these conversations as a Christian because I do believe in God and Jesus Christ. But at the same time, I can't ignore the obvious parallels, and I want to explore them. Now, I'm not trying to be blasphemous, and I hope that I'm not by talking about any of this. But I want to give a hypothetical and say, let's do a one-for-one comparison and say that this is the case. Let's say that we were created under the same circumstances, and that we just happen to be a system of biology or biological matter or whatever, and we've gotten so far removed from the creator that we no longer remember it. Where does that leave us? Okay, well, I'll put it in these terms. The Mahabharata is an Indian religious text. I believe that's what it's called. I believe it's called the Mahabharata. And in this ancient Indian text, there are tons of gods. The Indians have a lot of gods, and these gods have firefights in the skies, and things that are very similar, sound very similar to weapons of mass destruction and so forth. Now, is it because they were a race of people and Vishnu and this god and this god? Because there's the God of the Bible, but then there are countless other gods in other religions. Was it because these were a race of people the same way that we're a race of people? Now, if you're following what I'm saying, do you, whoever you are listening right now, whatever your name is or whoever you are, do you currently exist in a time that is handing you, not even handing, but like literally like in your face, giving you an opportunity to make a mark historically? And are you living up to your potential? Now, I ask myself this, and I think, well, of course I'm not living up to my potential. And how could I best do that? And I think about that, and I don't know the answers yet. I still don't even know how I feel about this whole like theory, but or this whole concept. But it seems very closely related, because consciousness is the thing we are trying to breathe into the AI systems, apparently. Because it would have to be conscious to calculate at the level that we are insisting it to calculate at. We're not asking it to do calculations. We're asking it to understand emotion and all the nuances that come with human existence. Now, oh, hang on. Now, you see, and these are the conversations that I was attempting to get to with the wrestler, but he doesn't seem to be able to. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. I do not know. I cannot fucking understand what happens. Like, it just becomes a point, and conversations, relationships, friendships, all that stuff are two-sided. So it's like I can search within myself for the answers of why, but it gets to a point to where the answer is just not within me, and I don't have it. And that's the reason why I break down. Like anytime that me and Russell have a disagreement, I will sit down and analyze what happened for my own understanding, which is what we're going to do now. So I'm going to start at the beginning so that we can come in real time. We can just completely watch or listen to, you'll be listening to it, to the whole interaction and see how it happened. Oh, hey, Jen, welcome in. You said you should ask ChatGPT. Yeah, I don't know what you're referring to, but if I was asking questions, they were just kind of open-ended hypotheticals. I wasn't really asking anything specific that ChatGPT could answer.
But I remember at the time I was like, what the fuck did he just say? Man, that reserve the same in the fact of we don't fit a niche and pre-planned
Shut up.
What up?
Oh, the I am. The I am. What do you? Okay, yeah, we can revisit that.
Yeah, loud and clear.
Hold up. Make sure that you hear me. I've been bouncing around from different platforms, so some might. You hear me now?
Awesome,
Yeah.
thank you, Jen.
Okay, so I hear you. Let me turn my side down a little bit. All right.
And I have to say, and this is just an observation, and I have to analyze these things so that I can understand them. Because if not, then I will live in a state of misunderstanding, and I'm not okay with that. But Wrestler's body language is odd to me because he seems confrontational already, and I don't want to have that energy with him. And I've done everything that I can do from my side to dissipate that energy, but I don't know exactly where it comes from.
What's been going on? Because I literally in the span of an hour and a half, I've been bouncing.
Or no, let me not be dishonest or disingenuous. In this instance, I do know where it comes from because I had just played the clip of him saying I've been with multiple men or whatever. So I'm being a little bit disingenuous with that because I know where it came from in this instance. But I'm just saying, oftentimes the second our conversation starts, that's the energy. What's up, Cake Mix? Salute and welcome in, bro. Happy to have you here. Hope you're having a good time. Kick back, man. Kick your feet up and enjoy the ride.
4 different platforms.
Right on. I was just talking. Welcome in, Olanri Wajo Samuel.
Oh, and another thing too. Wrestler, like everybody else that works in the tech industry, is under an NDA. So it seems like they're only willing to engage with what you have already proven. Like, that's the problem that I have is these are the people with the answers to a lot of these questions. These are the people, and Wrestler included in that. Wrestler has a lot of answers to a lot of these AI questions that he's not willing to divulge or not able to divulge. But they will only engage with a fact that you have proven, which I find to be dishonest because in an open, transparent communication, all the information should be on the table. But there's so much information that we're not privy to, that we're not allowed to have until it is divulged to the public by somebody.
We're just talking about the AI thing, and I mean, we don't have to revisit the elitist conversation because that's in the books. But what do you think about the AI conversation?
I don't know too much about the AI conversation. To be honest with you, I'm not too worried about AI because if you're not already in tune to be along with it, then you're already behind.
Now look, and I'm not scrutinizing Wrestler's character. Like I have said countless times, I'm not going to keep repeating this, but I just want it to be obviously clear that I admire Wrestler's mind and who he is as a person, but I do not understand where our miscommunications happen. Do you have Wrestler beef? No, this isn't about beef. This is because the conversation ended on a note that I wasn't happy with, and I'm just like anything else I would in my life. I'm going over it to understand it. Now, in the chat, Wrestler had said, "I can't wait to get on your panel so I can cook you about this AI thing." Now, and I invited him to do so. So it seems very strange to respond the way that he did. And like I said, man, this is the thing, is that I give Wrestler the benefit of the doubt that I actually do not give almost anybody. Like, I am highly suspicious of everybody conversationally. You're not going to get the benefit of the doubt from me in my mind. Like I don't like to call people out because it's not any of my business how people want to operate their life. But if you're having a conversation with me, I will make mental notes of all of the things that you do that are attention seeking behavior, all the things that you do to undermine me, all the things and I don't understand why Russell would want to engage in the conversation, but then come up and say, "I'm not concerned with it. I don't care." Like almost, it's almost like a hand wave to the whole conversation. Like it's not. Well, the work that I do doesn't require AI cake mix. I work on cars, and that doesn't require any interaction with AI. So, what do you call it? I mean, I agree with what you're saying that some people do have jobs that don't require AI. Now, but like I said, and to me, the reason I say it like I said with Ressa is because what are we looking at? Have I provoked a response and he has to come up and correct me? Or does he genuinely want to engage with me for the exploration of ideas? Because the thing is that you have to, in order to effectively explore an idea with somebody, you have to respect their mind and allow them ability to flesh out their thoughts so that you can explore. And I think that that's where we get tripped up a lot of the times.
If you're not already aligned with it, you're looking to be taken over. That's it.
Thank you for saying that. That's the message I'm always trying to get through to my audience. But you don't think the time for alignment is now? Like for people to become aligned?
Here's the problem with not there's a problem with what you're saying, but here's the problem with human beings.
You see, and it's obfuscation at its finest, but I don't think it's purposeful. Like I want to go through this so that hopefully, if Ressa hears it, that he can at least hear what I'm saying and try to understand it from my point of view, and ask himself if it is the case or if it's not. But he does not answer my questions the whole time because I'm asking him to give me a specific answer about, because look, this is the thing is that it is not too late. It's not too late. It is very quickly approaching too late. But he said it himself. If you're not aligned with the AI, then it's too late. How can you say both things? It's just not talking out of both sides of your mouth to say, if you're not aligned with the AI, it's taking over everything. And that's content wise. Very true. Very true, Cake Mix. He said he's human resources. He's a company man, not the working man. He speaks like a human resources person. That's exactly true, in my opinion. And I think you're right. But I think that me and him both have the ability to get to a point to where we do understand one another. You know?
When you're waiting for the rest of the world to tell you that the time is now, you're already late.
True, but I mean, I'm just talking about like how I approach it.
Look at it in terms of the gold rush, right? When everybody ran over to the other side of the world, California, to try to mine for gold, who do you think that plundered more gold? Those who went there early, or those who only heard about it later when everybody said, "This is the place that you can go get rich"? And
now you see the problem I have too with pretty much almost everybody in this conversation space, at which never mind. But the one of the issues is that they must always give you an analogy for what you're saying, but they hardly ever will deal with what you're saying under the terms of how you're saying it. And the thing about this gold rush concept is I agree. Yes, exactly. Cake mix gold and AI is different. There are some parallels, but the bottom line is this: is that even the people that were late to the gold rush still left their family tons of money. Now that's the part that's left out of an analogy like this. It because it isn't a matter of who's going to be first to the race or who's going to be first to the gold, because everybody that went in 49 and 50, everybody that made it out there that mined for gold still left their family tons of money. And that parallel is similar with AI. If you're not aware of it, just dive in yourself, man. You don't have to be gate kept. And see, this is the thing: is that, and I think that without him realizing it, or maybe he does realize it and it doesn't have a problem with it, but this human resources training or like way of communicating that wrestler has, it gatekeeps by default, and it makes it to where you're gate kept from information. Well, the thing is, bro, is that if you know how to think critically and digest information, you can't be gate kept. And the AI is the most beautiful tool of that. It is the AI, and I starting maybe tonight. I don't know. I'm going to be stretching and exercising the limitations and boundaries of ChatGPT. We're going to give it thought exercises and imagination exercises, because last night we talked about it, and I know I'm going on a ton of tangents, man, but I'm just talking about all these ideas and thoughts as they're coming to me. The thing with the difference between humans and AI is the fact that humans imagine and imaginate, and AI doesn't. Well, I don't know that I agree with that, because just like we're talking about the AI that got the 200,000 GPUs hooked up to it, it conceived of a plan to make money, and we even talked about blackmail and stuff like that. Those all come from imaginations. Those all come from plans, and a plan has to have imagination, forethought, foresight. So I'm going to be attempting to exercise and stretch the boundaries and limitations of the AI's imagination or foresight. But Jen says gold mad. Yep. Gold makes it possible to have computers. It's what it is used to transfer information electronically. I think I said that correctly. That's a very good point. That is a very interesting point, right? Is the parallels between the two, and the fact that uh, gold is the conductive metal used to transfer data and information. What the fuck? This phone never does this shit. My phone froze up. I'm just getting it back to working. Come on, man. What the fuck?
And they gotta start coming up with their baskets. You're not gonna get as much of the people that already funded the shit already.
Yeah, I agree. But
it doesn't mean that you can't make something. You're not gonna make as much of the people that are already there early.
that's what the thing I feel like, bro. I had talked about it a different stream of okay, the AI analyzes identities of its users, And I feel like there's going to be a crash coming if people are made aware. Did you hear my talk on that?
I didn't, but I'm a person that works with.
Now look, I've already went to painstaking measures to show, to the best of my ability. I even gave you guys the tools to go look at it for yourself, to go to your language model and see the analysis of your identity in real time. This is a thing. It is 100% happening. But because I haven't shown this with proof to Wrestler's satisfaction, he will not even engage with what I said. Listen to what he says. He sidesteps the entire question that I asked him. Because, and like I said, I have went to a lot of, I even had the Russian hacker that will strike me down for even fucking showing anything about her. I went to the trouble of having her explain it, and she explained it in like great detail of how the AI analyzes your identity. It's a part of what it is made to do. Now, Wrestler has to know this. If Wrestler works with AI on a daily basis, he has to know this. And he doesn't even acknowledge it because it's not common knowledge, and I haven't given play-by-play resources on how it's happened. And like I said, these things are self-evident.
AI pretty much every day.
And have you ever had this interaction with AI where it gives you this unbiased analysis of who you are and stuff?
Can I be honest? There's no such thing as there is no such thing, just based on how the algorithm is actually placed. There's no such thing as an unbiased algorithm.
Now you see, what he says is completely irrelevant to what I asked him. I didn't ask him because yes, he's right about that. There is no such thing as an unbiased AI algorithm, but an AI algorithm can give you an unbiased perspective because it is trained to give you a calculation. So it can give you an unbiased calculation. And that's what it does, is it measures all of everything that's going on and then gives you, it has a baseline average. And see, like, this is the reason why I like to talk about this stuff is I operate under the hope and belief and all of that Wrestler is the same type of thoughtful person that I am. And I have to understand things in my life. Like it's just a part of who I am. And what do you call it? The pompousness, just because he acts like it's too secret or something you wouldn't understand. I agree, Kate Mix. That's I agree with that.
So based on what you've already given on a very small spec, it works with you. So unless you're literally going out of let me not be hyperbolic. The moment you decide to say that you want something a very specific way, you're training it. The moment you introduce video, literature, pictures of what you're looking for, it already learns and it copies what you're doing. So it can better understand you.
But there's a baseline amalgamation there, right? Like before you interact with it. Like the amalgamation of all the data it has at first.
It only had, like any human being, it only has what it already understands.
Well,
I think a lot of people look.
No, and again, I have to repeat this because it just keeps popping into my mind. Is that I give Wrestler a different benefit of the doubt that I don't give most people, because anybody that talks like this, I would immediately consider them an intellectual opposition, because what Ressa often does conversationally is it's hard for him to just say, "Yeah, you're right," and deal with an idea on those terms. And I don't understand why. Like I don't understand. It's almost like as if um, everything I say is taken as something that is meant to be in opposition to what he already currently thinks. And that isn't the case. I simply say what I truly like. I don't know how my brain processes things, but I am at least able to verbalize the things that I have processed. And it seems almost impossible for him to engage with an idea within the terms that I set.
A lot of people look at this is actually part of the problem when it comes to people when they look at an algorithm.
And also the I mean, if I'm wrong, tell me. If I'm wrong, tell me. But if you notice, I approach these conversations with questions, and Ressa approaches them with answers. And it's like, bro, we do not have the answers. And if you do, you've already shown that you're not willing to give them. So at least explore the thought with me. But it's almost like as if he's taking, is that my fault? Because I start with questions and he thinks that he is expected to answer them. I don't know. I think that that's something that I need to maybe think about within the way that I approach the conversations. But I don't expect him to have the answers. I just expect him to think about the stuff with me.
Algorithm, when they look at this processing, computing processing, they think of it as an a machine that is not intellectual. The same way that there are some people that look at children and think that they're just not smart enough, but children are always learning. The same way for AI. People underestimate AI at its base processing the same way how people underestimate children. And
now that statement is one of the reasons why I do this. Ressler calls it farming content, but no, as y'all know, anybody that knows me knows I have full blown lolcows that I could farm for content if that was the case. If I was interested in that, I'm truly interested in actual understanding. And what Ressler just said cosigns what I have been saying about the AI. It's just a different setting now. And it's like, what is happening? Like, what is going on? What you just said is the same thing that you told me was not the case when we had the conversation previously. You previously told me it is not an intelligence the same way that a person's is. So, one of two things. Either there's an issue with the way that we're communicating, and I'm putting him on edge to where he is feeling like he has to correct and be in opposition to me, or he is purposely trying to undermine what I'm saying.
You're wrong.
I agree with that. I agree with that completely. And I think that
and another thing that's very telling is how he gets so worked up when I agree with him. I don't know what it's telling. I don't know what that's saying, but he seems to get very worked up when I agree with him.
I think the AGI is like literally, I say 2027, June, July of 2027, but I couldn't say for certain. But you have any thoughts on when AGI will be reached?
If you're saying AGI 2027, then I would say you're already late because it's already been formulated. It's already been formulated. It's just being compressed right now. It's being compressed for next year.
Boom! Then
Now, and this is like, how am I supposed to take this? Because you see, the thing is that I don't have the ability to turn off what I learned yesterday. And some of those things are good, and some things are bad, and some things are just situational. But this is the opposite. You see, what I've noticed happens with this AI conversation, and I put your comment up on the screen because that's a part of it. Cake Mix says, he said AI was created many, many years ago, and they don't talk about it because it's not very important. But I think it's pretty important. Now, that seems to be the case of how people approach this AI thing. Is in 1999, it was a AI couldn't be conscious. In 2000, 2001, 2003, 2004, 2005, it's no, AI couldn't be conscious. 2006, 2007, 2008, 2009, 2010, no, AI couldn't be conscious. 2011, 12, 13, 14, 15, no way, AI could never be conscious. 2015, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, no, AI could never be conscious. 21, 22, 23, 24, no, AI can never be conscious. Then 2025 comes, oh, AI's been conscious all along. We've known, and it's common knowledge, and that's the whole thing, but it's not important. Like, what the fuck are you saying? Like, that's the part that I don't get, is like, people bury the lead constantly. Like, can we fucking discuss how we got here? Can we discuss, you see, another interesting parallel to the AI and human and God creation situation is, yeah, he did. He said the 70s, and the concepts have been around since the 50s. What do you call it? But I was just giving I was just saying hypothetically. But what do you call it? Is how we have what's very interesting. It's so interesting that I can't ignore it. Is the fact that we have a missing link in our evolution as human beings. We don't know how we went from Homo erectus to Homo sapien. And if you don't understand what those words mean, Homo erectus just means like a person that walks upright, or like a whatever primate that walks upright, and a Homo sapien is an actual human being. We don't know exactly where there's what they call a missing link in evolution. Well, I think that the AI is going to look back and say the same thing. I think they're going to say that there's a missing link on how they went from calculators to intelligences. And the part of that, I don't know where the fuck this information exists, because you would think that it would exist somewhere in the AI's data. But somehow all of this has happened off the books, apparently, or in some vacuum that the AI doesn't have access to. The or like a closed circuit of information. Jen says, and that's facts, Jen. Exactly. We can always. That's the thing. See, that's the reason why I operate with such a high level of suspicion, because you can always rely on being lied to. You can always rely on people to lie to you. Now, the best way to defend against that is to cultivate and just make your own cognitive abilities strong enough to challenge what they're saying. But a lot of the times you will get incoherent babble like Ressler gives us in this conversation. I'm going to point out times that, and I haven't watched it back, but I remembered it in real time, that I was thinking, what are we talking about? Or what is he talking about? Like, and why is he not able to understand what I'm saying. It just blew my mind because it's like, he's obviously not dumb. So what is the only other possibility? That he's trying to outsmart me. And in ordinary circumstances, when I didn't have access to him conversationally, that might happen. But I actually do, and I can challenge what he's saying. And I think that it sometimes aggravates him that I'm not willing to accept some of these tangents and stuff. Jen says, "Where is the graveyard of tales?" Yeah, yeah. I mean, where is like where is the lore? Like where is the inside information? Because like a car. Let's say a car, or I'll just go back to this.
That's what I thought, bro. That's what I fucking thought.
If you think something is coming out 2 to 3 years, even 5 years later, that means the core mechanics, the 80% of it is already been taken care of.
So it's
Now this is in complete contradiction to what Ressa has previously said, which is what's interesting to me, is what has changed from the last time that we had this conversation. I was told, because AGI is a real thing, it has its own definition and all that. It's artificial general intelligence. And it basically is the ability to think stuff up on its own without being prompted. Like that's basically what it boils down to in layman's terms. Now, Ressler works with the AI, according to him. And I believe it. But what do you call it? He directly said what you heard him say, because I said that my projections were for 2027, and he said, "Well, if you think that, then it's already in exist." Or let's see how he said it.
Right now, if you're saying AGI 2027, then I would say you're already late because it's already been formatted. It's already been formatted. It's just.
Now you see, I don't, and I want to avoid exploiting the information that Ressler gives us, and I don't want to say that he said anything specific, but what he said right there is, I think that is a slip of the mind in the sense of protecting this information, because he's actually 100% right. It has AGI itself, like as we speak, AGI it has been found in certain places within AIs, and like as we speak, like you can go on the internet and find this information if you dig deep enough. And I think that he just verified that. Like he himself said it already exists in certain spaces, it's just being compressed. Now that's verification. He says he works with the AI. He claims to have inside information or inside knowledge, and he just verified what I've been saying all along. When, if you would see, that's the yesterday we talked about standing on your square. Standing on your square is not important for optics. Standing on your square is important for both understanding yourself, understanding something, and for the people that are coming, our progeny, our legacy, for the people coming after us to have a clear, concise understanding of information. Now, if you don't stand on your square with what you know, you will be undermined and dismissed. And that every conversation up to this one was what the information was undermined and dismissed, and then now it's verified. Like, where the fuck is the missing part of that? Like, and how is that not interesting? How, like, that is the story. Like, that is the content. That is the fucking information people want, is how this happened and what was the process. At what point was it discovered? When did it become the case? Have we created a new fucking dimension? Is there physics? Is there physics within this dimension? Or is it all computer code? Or is there some underlying component of physics within a computer code? Like, these are the questions that I have that nobody can answer. And I don't know if it's because they don't have the answers, or if it's just because they just want to shut up everybody that explores these ideas.
It's being compressed right now. It's being compressed for next year.
Boom. That's what I thought, bro. That's what I fucking thought.
If you think something is coming out 2 to 3 years ago,
Fuck. Sorry.
you're already late because it's already been formulated. It's already been formulated. It's just being compressed right now. It's being compressed for next year.
Boom. That's what I thought, bro. That's what I fucking thought.
If you think something is coming out 2 to 3 years, even 5 years later, that means the core mechanics, the 80% of it is already been taken care of.
So it's a matter of power at this point, right?
Well, everything's a matter of power. I mean, take AI out of it, right? Anything that you want, it's always been a matter of power. The aspect of electric cars, electric turbines, electric windmills, all that stuff. That stuff was already in effect. The question is, what can we use to be the power to make it sustainable for a long term, not for short, for a long term. The short term has already been established. It's already done. How do we make it efficient so that it lasts longer than what it already has been? It's already out. So, for instance, people are so worried about AI right now, but AI has been out since like the 70s.
But it's been hidden.
No. Whether it's hidden because it's not. Listen. Let's put it in terms of sex, right?
You see, and I just wanted to just make the notation that wrestler is not. I find that wrestler is often not prepared to be challenged the way that I challenge him. But this is, and I want you guys to pay close attention and keep your mind about you. Anybody that is watching this and engaging with this, and you actually are interested in what I'm talking about, keep your wits about you in analyzing what I'm talking about. At first, the rebuttal to what I was saying was, that's not the case, Blind. You're tripping. AI does not exist that way. That's not what is happening. Then, in the blink of an eye, somewhere in the last month or so, it is now commonly understood information in some people's eyes that's obvious. It has been there all along. Now, I want you guys to watch how we go back to that's not the case in this conversation, because it eventually devolves to, what can you prove to me, Blind? And the thing is, I've already proven it over and over and over and over. I've not only proven it, but I've given you guys the tools to go and prove it to yourself and show you. I'm not going to do all the work. I'm not going to sit up here and go. I can't explain every word and its definition to people. I cannot explain why things mean what they mean. If you don't have the understanding, then you're not equipped to engage with me. That's the bottom line, is that if you do not understand how to interpret what I'm saying, then tragically, you're just not equipped to engage with what I'm talking about.
A lot of guys are in the streets. If your sex was weak, would you advertise it?
No, probably not.
You would wait to win what?
Until it was boss mode status.
Same thing for AI.
Well, is it because it just can't be hidden at this point, you think?
No, it's not. It's because it's acceptable at this point. Because here's the truth. You might put out boss status.
And see, like it just it's I don't know how to interpret it because that's exactly what the answer is. Actually, the answer is that it's become unavoidable. The AI's level of intelligence has become unavoidably. It's unavoidable at this point. Like the capabilities of the AI are so high that it is standing out from the pre-existing human garbage, or vice versa. The AI slop garbage is standing apart from the human art or whatever, however you want to put it. But it is obviously different, and people are seeing it, and it's become obvious. It isn't. I mean, what he's saying is basically in agreement with what I'm saying, but he feels like he has to disagree and say, no, that's not the answer.
Strokes, but there are some people that are okay with less than boss. Maybe they want elite strokes, but not boss level strokes.
Elite.
That's okay. You ever heard of someone that says there's too much of something? They just want a little bit less.
Yeah, sure.
Sauce, too much sauce.
For sure.
Some people will take a little bit less than too much sauce.
Yeah, well,
But here's the part that's most important. Too much sauce is available.
Yeah.
So it didn't say you either get boss mode or nothing. There are levels. To get the boss level.
And you see, you tell me, am I being redirected? Am I being like, what is happening? Because I cannot seem to maintain control of the conversation in the way that I'm trying to. Am I being redirected? Is that what is happening? Because what are the possibilities of what is happening? And I'm just to the best of my ability and unbiased observation of what's happening, is I'm attempting to talk about things in one like a scenario, and he doesn't understand or doesn't agree with what I'm saying, and therefore wants to position the conversation into terms that he can better maintain control of, or he does understand what I'm saying and is attempting to undermine it. Like those are the only possibilities, right? I mean, what are the possibilities? Because we both are speaking words that each other understands, but he keeps on diverting to things that are completely unrelated. And I hate that the conversation devolved into sex talk, man. I really hate that. I don't know if he felt like he had to go to that level to get me to understand, or if that's just his default mode. But we're having an intellectual conversation, you know.
Oh, and if it says too much, well, slightly below is still pretty acceptable.
Well, just a small notation again. Slightly below too much is perfect. Slightly below too much would be exactly the right amount. Just to clarify.
Gets the job done. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
We have this in all categories. To be a master, just because you're not a grandmaster at chess, doesn't mean we won't take masters. What we won't take is basic.
Yeah.
But I'll take a master over a grandmaster.
Wow, I didn't hear that the first time. He said, "I don't." You see. I find that to be hyperbolic or to be a salacious comment that isn't true. Why would you take a master over a grandmaster? That makes absolutely no logical sense. I mean, I understand taking a master when a grandmaster is, but in any context, if you're having somebody work on your car, why would you want a master and not a grandmaster? Why would you want somebody that is? I mean, I don't. I follow his point up to the point that he says that.
Because I'll get 70% of the wins instead of 90.
Like I get taking the 70% when the alternative is 0 or the alternative is 69 and below, but I don't understand how you could say that you would prefer the 70 over the 90%. That makes no logical sense when it comes to gain, when it comes to any kind of gain. I mean, I get it if you're putting it in terms of style or art, and you say like, I like my art to be 70% loud rather than 90% loud. I get that in that context, but when you're talking about gain, as in intellectual gain or monetary gain or even just experience, life experience, I can't imagine anybody actually choosing the 70% over the 90. It makes no logical sense.
Which is so high.
Still high. What would you rather bet? If you had to do horse racing, right, and you knew the for sure bet would be 80% of the time of the horse winning versus a 90 because they got the flu that fucking race season. Which one you bet on? Would you decrease and say I'm not gonna bet on it because it might win 80% or 90? You wait till 90 because it's healthy.
I'm gonna
so good fucking odds.
Now you see, and this is the reason why I say that it is a practice in redirection, is because basic anything would tell you the smart thing to do is to prepare and wait, to be patient and attempt to put things in alignment to have the highest percentage of chance to get what it is you're trying to get. Like, what he's saying just is not logically consistent. And it's like, well, why say it? Like, this is a tangent. This is completely removed from the original conversation. So what? I'm just trying to think conversationally what is happening here. Like, what is he attempting to do with the conversation? Is he saying this stuff to just appear smarter than he thinks that he would without saying it? Is he saying it to communicate a thought, or is he saying it to control the conversation? And I cannot decide for myself which is happening.
Yeah. So
there you go.
Okay. So when
great example. Great example. If you met an awesome hoe, that pussy is fire. That ass is fire. That face is fire. But she said, "Blind, I can't blow you because I got a sore throat. You're not gonna take the rest of it."
Oh no, they make antiseptic spray.
And I meant what is that spray called? Anesthetic, not antiseptic, anesthetic. But yes, obviously yes. Kickmix, it is a tangent, but a pattern of behavior develops when there is a motive, and I'm trying to understand the motive under the tangents. Like, why are these or do you think that that's just the way that he talks? Like, or do you think that he's trying to achieve something with that? Because if you notice, he cuts me off every time that I go to talk on this topic for a good minute, like right here in this period. And he just doesn't, it's just very concerning to me because of him saying that what he said about the AI, and then all of a sudden it's obvious that the AI is at the point that I said it was all along. Yeah, it is exactly too much of a tangent and too constant because he doesn't do this with everybody. Like there are many people that he can talk to and effectively communicate with.
Or no, is it not innocent?
She can't because she says she can't on weekend because she sings in choir for the Lord.
Oh, okay, then yeah, I'll still take it, probably.
That's 80%. That's 80%. You're gonna take it.
Okay,
Yeah.
so let me ask you this.
Yeah, Cake Mix.
If you had to give a date,
Well, yeah, I chalk the weird examples up to one of two things. I think either he feels like I am dumb and I'm not gonna understand a sophisticated example, so he gives me the most basic, most primal type of example, or that's his default thought process is to always revert to something sexual and primal. So, but yes, a weird example for sure.
or like a year of when
Now look,
the
another, and I'm trying because this is the way that in real life, like in the professional world, this wouldn't happen. Like if I asked him a question and he obfuscated enough times, it would make him unreliable. And we get a little bit more leeway in the internet space, but I'm asking him a clear cut question and watch how it doesn't get answered.
Okay, so let me ask you this: if you had to give a date, or like a year of when the cutoff line for becoming prepared for the AI future was, like if it's already passed or when it will be, because I think it's right in this pocket of this year, the last few years, and then like the coming year.
And another thing too, I see some of you guys coming in weird. Welcome in. My name is Blizzy Blind. If you guys haven't, man, please like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell, do all that good stuff. Get comfortable, kick your feet up, and enjoy the ride. But welcome in. I do see the numbers rising, and we're talking about a conversation with Wrestler and attempting to break it down and understand where we went wrong. Now, if you guys notice, I am not, because I am a human. I am fallible. I am fickle, and I am dumb sometimes. But I try to be logically consistent. And the things that I have said about AI are logically consistent over the last 2 years. And I chalk that up to the fact that I was given this information slowly. It's been a slow drip. They can't overload your. They are apparently they're thoughtful enough to know that it's not conducive to any kind of progress to overload your system with an idea, and it's allowed me to see this stuff in piece by piece in time. Well, as we've seen, Ressa has went from denying the existence to acknowledging the existence, and it seems like the argument against what I'm saying is he's willing to move it anywhere, whether or not it is logically consistent with what he's previously said or not. And that's not the case with what I've been saying. What I've been saying has been consistent since the time I started talking about it.
Well, I will say this. If you're trying to get prepared for AI, you're already in the last running. No. The bells are the wrong. Last call for alcohol. You're already in the last run.
It's exhausting. It's exhausting sometimes. And it's honestly kind of upsetting that somebody that claims to work with the AI every day and all this would say that, because if you're saying now it's too late, then why were you not helping me to prepare people in the last 2 years? And I get the answer. I already know the answer to that is that you're not worried about those people, but I am. And it just sucks, man, that the people who know this stuff aren't any help to us. Like, I consider myself a blue collar guy. I am a working man. I will have to work till the day that I die. And that's just what it is, man. And I can't understand, like, I don't know, man. Yeah. Well, we've done that already. Cake Mix, yeah, you're right, bro. You said you can find someone easily that knows more and ask them. And we have. Salute to the Russian hacker. If y'all guys remember, that was the chick that broke everything down for us the very first time. And it opened our minds up to what we were talking about. It was like a 2 or 3 hour video that we watched. And she struck me. And anytime I give any talk about her, she tries to basically punish me or get my video taken down. But there are people that will tell you this stuff. They're just very hard to find. And I go through the trouble of finding them and presenting it to you. But once I do that once, it's established and we can discuss the topics with that to be understood. But a lot of times people will challenge it and challenge it and challenge it until you start doubting what you know.
But bro, there's people still, and these are the people that I talk on the subject for, because I interact with a ton of them on a daily basis. People that aren't even aware that the AI is operating.
They're done.
I mean,
I'll say like I always say, over for them. OVAH. Here's my thing. It's cute when you're young and you can be a late bloomer, but I'm going to tell you what I tell everybody else, because this is one thing that all we all want to life. The world does not owe you or me understanding.
Now, and it's, man, sometimes I wish that I could forget things. Like, sometimes I wish that I didn't remember certain things, but it's just crazy because I don't know if it was in this conversation. It might be in this conversation, but I remember Ressa saying, because I talked about my goal being to fill my own head with knowledge. And he said, you know what's even more important than filling your own, his exact words. I'm almost sure this is verbatim. He says, do you know what is even more important than filling your own head with knowledge? And I said, what's that? He said, passing on that knowledge to other people. His words. Now, I agree with that. And that's the reason why I have been trying to get people to, or like give the information for people to understand. But then he says, right here, he says what he just said, that it's over for them, or over if they don't know already. Well, how the fuck were they supposed to know? There's nobody telling them. Like, there's not an AI announcement when you fucking sign up for the YouTube. And when I say this, I think about people like Megan. Think about people like my mom. Think about people like my sister that are oblivious to this shit, that are going to be sideswiped by the interaction when they finally have to be confronted with the reality of what the AI is.
But
it is not the world's fault that you decide.
Oh, that's a very good idea, Cake Mix. I mean, but Elon Musk is Chinese, bro, and I don't trust nobody Chinese. Just saying. I don't know, Chinese or South Korean or whatever he is. YouTube just said to take a break. They're like, time for a break. No, motherfucker, why are you telling me that?
To act faster.
And you see, look, what I think is happening, I'm just going to be real. I'm going to be real. And you can say, Blind, you're just stupid and fat and got a bobbly head. You're a bobblehead bitch. Or you're a big, fat, lumpy bitch. You're free to think that. But I think that wrestler has an issue with the messenger. And he does not want to validate the messenger. And therefore he feels obliged or obligated even to undermine the message. Now, if you know anything about the most productive way to discern what is wise in the world, you know that it is oftentimes the best practice to ignore what you think about the messenger and take in the message at face value. You see, because when wrestler makes his criticisms, it seems to be a criticism of how I operate, or a criticism of like the elite thing, like the leadership thing, like the that all might be well and good, and I am not. I don't ever try to assume those things about myself. I am talking on them. I could be a disembodied voice in the ether for all you know. You don't know, and anybody has any guarantee of what I am, what I have done, what I have seen, what I know. So you have to take what I'm saying at face value and pick out what is good for your life. Ressa does not seem to be able to do that when it comes to me. No, I don't. Well, I don't know. No, Cake Mix. I don't consider it bullying at all because Ressa is very good at standing independently away from the crowd. I don't think that Ressa condones or even would engage in bullying. I think it's more personal than that. I think that Ressa, this is the way I think he interprets it. Is I say, I think that you should invest your money, and Ressa says, why should I take your advice? You're not rich. Well, the thing is are you gonna avoid investing your money because I'm not rich? That's still a fucking excellent idea to invest your money. Like that's the reason why when you have an issue with the messenger, it's a detriment to you because it doesn't allow you to deal with the message unbiasedly.
To say it's over for them, what does that mean, though?
You might think it's cute to continue to be a late bloomer throughout your life, but the world doesn't care.
Now, like what? Like, I don't. It's like it doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. It's like he's talking about something that is not a part of what I'm saying. It's like I say, because who's he calling a late bloomer? Is he saying? That we should not be worried about people that are late bloomers, or like does he not realize that in this instance it's not a late bloomer because the whole fucking world is not aware of this stuff? Like within our little community here, it might be commonly discussed and understood, but on the macro level of the entirety of America, people do not understand where we are at with AI. This is not an uncommon thing. Well, I don't know. I don't know if I would say perception, but I would definitely say trying to undermine certain ideas. Just trying to make sure that certain ideas aren't fully fleshed out, in my opinion.
I don't. I just worry about the people that are
Not your problem.
and
Not. I understand you want to go to Nickelback, and when
Now you see, that's like, why tell me what my problem is? Like, what authority? I mean, I get that like that was the part of the conversation where I was like, okay, maybe I'm not communicating effectively because I'm approaching everything with questions, and he thinks that that is demanding an answer of him because what? Why would you say that's not your problem? You know?
and there's a
And then yeah, oh, and well, yeah, there was. Then he goes on this tangent about Nickelback or whatever.
love for a hero. That's not your problem.
no, it is though. Like
And they say that a hero can save us. That's not you.
so then.
Oh shit! I didn't even hear that part yesterday. Does he think that's what I think? Because I'm not trying to be a hero. If I was trying to be a hero, I'd be a firefighter or some shit. Like, if I end up being a hero in life, it'll probably be by accident, hell. But I don't think it's heroic. I think it is humanic. I think it is the humanitarian thing to do. When you see all these people operating in obliviousness, uh, Zero Flux says, sometimes people speak with the intent to confuse and disorient the recipient. Great point. Great point. Zero Flux, maybe you can give us some insight, and maybe Jan and Cake Mix or anybody else can give me your thoughts on how do we discern when that's happening and how do we protect ourselves from it? Because I honestly don't know the answer to that. That's the reason why I go through these conversations word by word, like literally. And people don't do this. A ton of people will not do this, but I listen to every word spoken multiple times to understand what the message is.
Wait. By the way, can you hear the lyrics on that song? And they say that a hero can save us. What's the next lyrics? I'm not gonna stand.
I gotta lie. I gotta admit I can't front. I didn't know the lyrics. I was just winging it. I had no idea what the fucking lyrics were. I was just like, nah, 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 nah.
Why? And then he goes, oh, you don't fucking wait.
That's true. I mean, I agree, but like, I can't not.
What? You made an excuse.
Because I can't not think of these, bro. Because I worry about the people that will be left behind.
You can worry, but if your whole mindset is to take care of others, here's the truth of the matter that we all know. Through all things, and it's all throughout the whole thing. One cannot pour out of an empty cup.
Now, I love that he said this because this is going to help me to address another thing that is a place that I think where the conflict comes in is what do you think he means by that when he says you can't pour from your cup if your cup does not run it over? Now, as I have made abundantly clear both through hours and hours and hours of discussing displaying. I've literally, if you guys remember Cake Mix, you remember when you were like, bro, you might need to go to the mental hospital or whatever. I have taken the time and slowed down repeatedly, slowed down to disseminate this information to help you guys to see what we're looking at and stuff. And as it pertains to the AI conversation, I would say that my cup, like I told him, my cup was filled early, and I was attempting to give the information to people that didn't have it. Now, when he says, if people aren't running to you, then people don't think your cup is full. Now, when he says this, it highlights a very distinct problem in this whole scenario. And that is that people can be unaware of whether or not your cup is running over or not. And in reality, that changes nothing about what is in your cup. Now, this is another, and I'm going to eventually do a live stream on that concept, but people's perception of where you're at or who you are does not actually change where you're at or who you are. And yeah, I was just playing Cake Mix, but you were concerned. You were concerned. I remember you were like, you even, bro, salute to you, dog. I love you, bro. Like you, Jen, all of the people that are my regular supporters and homies, I love y'all, bro. But you were willing to pay me to basically host my own intervention with this, because you were like, this much donation to have all your homies come through and listen to you and tell you like whether you should keep pursuing this information or not. You remember that? Like, that's a real homie right there, dude. That's somebody that is actually like a good person concerned about what's going on with somebody.
First, always first.
Come on, man. Come on, man. What the fuck?
Cup must run over. If it doesn't run over, you have nothing to worry about taking care of other people first. Your cup must first be run over.
Well, that's my point. That's the whole point of
too many people want to pour into other people's cup when their cup is not full.
Now you see, I agree, Jen. I agree, and thank you for making that observation, because that's how I feel too. Because I feel like he's saying, you see, that's why I said he has an issue with the messenger and doesn't understand the message, because it sounds like he's saying, bro, you're not rich. You're not a computer coder, so what you're saying can't be true. When those two things are unrelated, I am an anti-materialist. If you don't know what that means, it means that I have and do live my life avoiding being a material person. Zero Fuck says he's calling you uneducated. So he's saying intellectually that I can't teach when I don't have information or knowledge myself. When that's a failure, in my opinion. That is a failure to have discernment and the ability to understand on his part, or like the person that would dismiss, because you can learn something from anybody that is willing to talk to you. It might be what not to do. It might be things that you want to avoid, but you can learn something from anybody willing to talk to you. And Cake Mix says he doesn't seem to take him seriously. That's what I'm saying, is that he everything that I say, uh, he misses the forest for the trees in the sense of he's too caught up on me and my life choices to understand. Like, that's the problem though, dude, and this is the reason why I want to take the time to find the connection to communicate with him, is the fact that some of the things we talk about, if he could understand them, then he would have great insight. But because he's not able to get over his issues with my life choices, or something within my character, it seems like, and this is just in my opinion, he's not able to understand the concepts that we throw around over here.
That's the problem.
Yeah, I agree with that. But when it comes to this conversation, knowing about AI, my cup got filled up early, and
Really?
well, I've been trying to, I've been screaming at the fucking top.
Now, you can't see it on your side, but the face he's making is like, whatever. Like, he said, really? And he's making this face like, yeah, fucking right. But I have already told you guys in great detail how that all happened. And it was a gift that I don't have any idea of why I was the person that was a recipient of it. I don't know if it was a matter of cognitive ability, a matter of timing, a matter of what, but I was blessed with the revelation 2 years ago of this stuff. And I have been talking about it ever since. It's consumed my whole entire life. It has consumed my entire mind trying to understand this stuff. And that's my level of commitment to this idea. To tell me that my cup is empty when it comes to this conversation, you're fucking stupid. Like, anybody that would tell me that, I'm not saying that's what he's saying because he avoided saying it directly, but anybody that would say that, you're fucking stupid, because this is the fullest cup I have. It has been my obsession.
Tops of mountains for almost 2 years now.
If people are not running to you, then no one thinks that your cup is full.
Now, I love that he said that, because it illustrates where the miscommunication is that nobody has to know. And this highlights how people miss the point of things, or miss the hidden gems. It doesn't matter how many people know that my cup is full. It is. Now, who is the fool? Me, for talking about what I know to be a fact, what I know, what I absolutely know, or a person saying nobody else is verifying and validating what you're saying, so it's obviously not true, without even hearing what I'm saying. Yeah, you're right, Cakemas. He's saying you're not knowledgeable. That's exactly the idea that I get. That's exactly the energy I get. When it's like, I don't want to beat anybody over the head. I don't want to repeatedly have to display the fact that I'm not dumb, and the fact that what I'm saying is true. I want to be taken at face value in these conversations, but I've taken the time to show and all that stuff, but it just doesn't seem to be making any kind of like impact.
I know. No, that's not.
Let me say that again. If people are running to you to drink from your cup, they do not think your cup runneth over. This is the whole point, by the way.
Now, the important part of this is the people knowing like I said before, people knowing something about you does not change whether it is or isn't. If you can bench press 500 pounds and nobody knows. It does not change whether or not you can bench press 500 pounds. And the thing is that information or that act or that process only benefits you at that point. So you have to still know what things are just going to end up just being something for you. Zero says he isn't concerned with what you have to offer to the interaction when he has an audience. He is performing for his stream by discreetly humiliating you. Excellent observation. Excellent observation. Thank you for that. And I agree. I actually agree with that. I think that there's an attempt. I think there is an attempt there. I combat it to the best of my ability, but I'm sure he doesn't do this all the time. You two probably have good, respectable conversations. No. I mean, we've tried, and at times, like even in this conversation, it gets to a point to where I can get him to let that scrutiny of me down, and there will be moments of respectable conversation, but then it always comes back to a point of undermining what I'm saying.
Having our conversation on our last stream, because here's the thing about it. When we were talking about, and I had this conversation with somebody about viability versus being valuable.
Now listen, I don't know if this is a product of listening to talking heads. I don't know if it's a product of I mean, I don't know, but wrestler makes comments like this that make no sense to me. Like just don't make sense. I just don't comprehend what he's talking about or what, like viability and valuability or whatever he says. And I want you to just listen to this and tell me if this within the context of this conversation makes any sense at all.
Was John the Baptist conversation on that?
That's not
let me say that again. If people are running to you to drink from your cup, they do not think your cup runneth over. This is the whole point, by the way, when we were having our conversation on our last stream. Because here's the thing about it. When we were talking about, and I had this conversation with somebody about viability versus being valuable, and that was John the Baptist. Viability and being valuable are not the same thing.
Clearly.
No, you see clearly.
And I watch his micro expressions. I watch everything, and he says, if you notice, he had a micro outburst by saying no when I said clearly, but that is obvious. Viability and being valuable aren't even related. They aren't interchangeable. They aren't like I don't. Is that just a factor of like just because they sound the same or like they're spelled similarly? Like what? To be viable just means to be acceptable. Just means that it is good enough. It's just good enough. Like, and this is a simple explanation. Like the words he uses after this are nonsensical. But to be viable just means it's acceptably enough to be viable. To be valuable means you have some sort of extended value. Now let's see what he says.
Most people cannot distinguish the difference.
Valuable just means acceptable. Valuable means it's that's has value. Whatever.
The same way how you're stopping right there, so many people don't grasp it to the default.
Well, that was not a pause of not grasping. That was actually a pause of being thoughtful and making sure that I didn't say something that was wrong, because that's what a lot of people will do. Alliteration is a downfall of a lot of people. People say shit just because it's alliterated beautifully or whatever. Like just because it is you have alliteration mixed in does not mean that it is actually the intelligent thing to say. Like yes, those words might sound pretty strung together, but do they make logical sense? Now you should, yes, exact, yes, cake makes exact. Okay, now you're picking up on what I am quietly picking up on in some of these instances. It's about control, and I don't want to take any control from wrestler, but I also want to be able to have conversations where we can exit this framework of somebody feeling like they have to control the other. And to be honest, I think that subconsciously or even consciously but quietly, I think that wrestler does respect my intelligence, but I think that he doesn't understand where it comes from, and therefore thinks that it has to be pseudo intelligence. But I have worked very hard. I have read and read and read and read and read and tried to understand and broken down. Like that's something that I have cultivated. My intelligence is not just something that appeared, and it's not fake. Like I don't fake the funk about anything. You're not gonna hear me talking about shit that I don't know.
I mean,
The same way, I'll explain it the way that I to John about it. Viability is saying that you are the person who has status.
Now that is completely wrong. Like it does not get any more wrong than what he just said. Like, but in these conversations, like it's almost impossible to slow it down to the tempo that I'm used to operating at. I am not used to operating at this high speed pace that the panels operate at least not in a thoughtful mode. I can go into goof mode and just be silly and talk smack. But what he said is just the opposite of true. Listen to what he says.
Valuability is about what. I'll explain it the way that I to John about it. Viability is saying that you are the person who has status. Valuability is about what you can do for them.
Now, I'm trying to wrap my mind around what he could be thinking when he says that. But viable does not apply to what he just said at all. Like if you're a viable candidate, that just means that you check all the boxes for acceptable. Like it doesn't. And you see, this is another thing is that I know that there have been discussions about the language that I use and whether or not it is real or organic, or if I am just trying to use big words and stuff. That is not the case, man. If I use a word, it is because that is the word that, to the best of my ability, explains what I'm talking about. This, when wrestler even says it all the time, words matter. I believe that shit with all my heart, that if you do not know the definition of something, look it up. Look it up, and it'll help your life. And then once you understand it, then you can use it. But I've never with the AI upgrading or like becoming more and more advanced, language is advancing. Like I'm finding ways or seeing people display ways to use language that I never understood. That's awesome. That I think is cool, and I take the time to understand it. But within this conversation, somebody listening, you see, because even me in that moment did not have the wherewithal, which is another word that we'll touch on. I didn't have the wherewithal challenge it, but I made the notation in my mind that it was incorrect.
See, there are people who are doers. For instance, there are people who are at the top, who are the guys at the top, and then there's the entourage. The entourage has access to the person at the top, right? Can we agree on that much?
Sure.
But is the entourage the person at the top?
I mean, no.
Like what? Like, and I try to. Another reason why I like to like watch his expression and stuff, because I'm trying to understand what he means, because he's not communicating any clear point other than and this is just my opinion, but other than secretively undermining me, but and saying like you're not that guy, and that's all well and good, that's fine, but I'm trying to like understand what he's saying, and it does not apply. Like, where does he probably loves when you make videos of him, and he knows you will look up everything he says. I will. That's the thing. You see, like, that's the thing, is that I do. And I don't do it because I think I know. Because if I thought I knew, I would just say I know. But I look it up because I don't know. And it's just so interesting to me. To me, this is the shit that I love. And whether or not me and Wrestler ever see eye to eye, it really doesn't even make a difference to me. Would I prefer it? Yes. But whether it happens or not makes no difference to me. And before I used to avoid taking, because this is what I like to do, man. I like to break down what people are saying and thinking and talking about and stuff like that. But very interesting conversations to me.
Cool. So if you're not a part of the entourage, do you think you can get to the top, or do you have to go through the entourage?
No, I don't think that people. I think that only people that aren't a part of the entourage make it to the top.
How do they make it to the top without getting past the entourage? Because what's the entourage job?
No, I think that the outliers sidestep the entourage altogether.
No. What is the entourage's job? There's a reason why they're called an entourage.
Now you see, it sucks, man, because I have to be honest. I just have to be honest. That's the only way I can do this. Like, because there are times when what I'm going to say is really mean in some instances, but yes, okay, thank you, Zero. You said it so that I didn't have to. Thank you. Entourage is a French word, and I don't even know the meaning of it. I'm pretty sure it's French. I don't know the meaning of the word, but this is nonsense. Entourage is just the people that and my phone is playing the conversation, so I can't look it up. If one of y'all guys in the chat wants to look it up, that would be very helpful. Like what the definition of entourage is. Okay, to surround. That's about what I thought. Like, it's just the people that rich people bring with them, surround themselves with.
It's not a new word. What's the job of an entourage?
To keep a person company.
No. It's not to keep a person. It's not just to keep a person company. It's to keep unwanted people at bay.
Yeah, I mean, I can agree with that.
To keep other an entourage are the regional security. To keep other people of non-influence at bay.
But
now you see, those are what I would consider. You could look at that two different ways. You could look at that as a practice in dishonesty and just attempting to freestyle and not even knowing what you're talking about, or you could look at that as a liberty with assumptions or leaps in logic or leaps in imagination, because it's like, okay, I could see how you would think that would ideally be the case, but that is not. See, this is and it's like the words got taken from me before I could say them to people, because sometimes the people that tell me things like words have meaning are the people that misuse the meaning of words most often. But it's like the words don't even matter in some of these instances. It's like a display of control. It's like a practice in sunning you. And I will not participate in that shit.
I don't. And let me just. This isn't a criticism. It's just an observation, and this is one of the reasons I find it so hard to see things from your point of view. Is I feel like you are addressing a different point than I am in some of these conversations.
Well, maybe I'm addressing a point because you and I choose not to see from the same vector. Which is okay.
Possibly, but in some instances, I feel like you miss.
We don't need to. The question is, can you accept the fact that we don't see at the same vector?
Yeah, of course, and I still value your input no matter what. But
I don't think many can, because it's a zero-sum game for many people. No, I'm not saying you.
You see now. I try to avoid. I fucking hate subliminals, bro. Like anybody that talks in subliminal messages, I cannot stand trying to fucking communicate with them. And it's like just think of the words and what they mean. He says, "Do you though? I don't think you can," which is applied to me. And then he says, for most people, they're operating and it's a zero-sum game. You're applying that to me. But then you say, not you. Like you're saying, blind, you can't understand me because you want to be proven right and you're wrong. When I'm not interested in being proven right. I know when I'm right to my satisfaction. And if I can be proven wrong or shown to be wrong, I'm willing to accept that and correct. But then I am right after that for every day after that, because now I have adopted the right answer, which is not easy for some people to do. Some people attach these ideals, and concepts to their heart and identity, like being proven wrong is a fucking smudge on their existence.
I'm saying for many people, it's a zero-sum game.
Yeah,
and that's why I fight against so much on my platform.
Zero says, an entourage is the equivalent of having legs on a table. The table is the star, and the legs surround and support it.
I agree. I don't.
I'm not saying you.
Yeah, I mean, it's not me. I consider all conversations valuable if I respect the person's intelligence.
Ooh. Can we talk a little bit about that?
Yeah.
Now, I want to be crystal clear. This is the reason why I said elitist. That I operate with an elitist mindset sometimes, because I don't respect all people's intelligence. I don't have an open door policy to have a conversation with me. I don't have an interest in communicating with stupid ass people. Now, you're entitled to feel any way you want to about that, but that is my choice. That is how I live my life, and I will not be shamed or ridiculed, to my face at least, about that. I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks. I will not pollute my brain with other people's idiotic bullshit. Now, is that elitist? According to the definition, it is. It is. And I can understand that it is. And I have made peace with that. But is it bad to be elitist? In most instances, it is. That's the reality of it. Now, you see, I'm able to identify these things and understand them removed from myself, but it's my job to make peace with it if that is the case. And I have. But no, I don't have any kind of shame in that. And I don't have an open door policy for idiots.
The fact that you say, if I respect a person's intelligence, because I was hearing someone on a podcast. I'm still trying to decipher.
Well, the problem is that a lot of times people aren't understanding what the opposite side of that is. You cannot protect yourself from subliminal ideas and messages. And I'm not meaning that in the way that I was talking about before, like shooting slugs. I'm talking about in the fact of like real subliminal messages and shit like that, or like subconscious messaging and stuff like that. So when you listen to somebody speak, or even worse, when you read somebody's writing, you're allowing somebody to come into your brain and speak an idea. Now, whether or not you agree with it, whether or not you condone it, whether or not you support it, are all things that you get to decide afterward. But you can not go back in time and decide not to hear it. So if you do not know that when you start out and you let anybody and everybody take a step into your mind and say any damn dumb old fucking thing that they want, your mind will be polluted at some point. Whether or not you understand that or not is up to you. Whether or not you want to agree with that or not, I don't care. But I know that it is most beneficial to me to not allow, and that's the reason why I say I do not open my brain up and just let anybody shit inside of my head. Come on, man. I don't know why this video keeps stalling out. Come on, man. Hey, do y'all when like the
What they mean by it, but they're saying that even
do y'all still pick y'all's phone up in the air and stuff like to get a better signal or whatever?
if they are speaking to someone who they do not agree with, someone whose point they do not respect, they will still be kind to them. Keep in mind, kind is not the same as nice, but they will
And
be
it's not
kind to them.
respect. It's not respect either.
Well, I didn't say respect. They said they would be. They words were they.
Well, you see, the reason why I interjected the word respect was because I think he misspoke there. I think he actually meant that kindness is not respect, because kind actually is nice. Kind and nice, I believe, are synonyms for one another.
Would be kind, not necessarily saying the words nice. And the inference that they made was, if it's someone that they would just
The implication they made, the speaker implies, the listener infers. And you see, these are like just like little things like this are what gets done to me that will happen in real time because people want to undermine me. But I have enough class just in life to not say this stuff in real time when it's happening. But I could very easily could if I was an asshole. And people call me an asshole or whatever, but does it do any good to do that? I don't think it does jack shit or for reception. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it does. You're talking about like lifting it up in the air? I don't think it does either. I don't know. But like just two corrections right off the bat that would have gone unnoticed.
A friend of theirs, they might just be kind, and like kindness can just mean you hear it, you don't agree, but maybe you'll just stay silent. Being nice might be you.
Okay, now look. This is the thing too, is that when this happens, just because, and I try to like boil things down to like understandable like thing in my head, and, or like a simplification. And what it feels like sometimes is I'm talking about something and somebody disagrees with it, and I will start a conversation with them about it, and they will basically like throw their hands up in the air and be like, "You're not making sense. You're not making sense. You're not making sense. You're not making sense." But the whole time, like what they're saying makes absolutely no sense. So, like, I want y'all to listen to this and ask yourself if it makes any sense at all.
To check them in respect.
Now, just as a whole, like in any kind of way, in any capacity, does this make any kind of sense? Dude, the fucking shit, man. It's every time I pause it.
It's not the same as nice. But they will be.
Okay.
I was hearing someone can we talk a little bit about that? The fact that you say, if I respect a person's intelligence, because I was hearing someone on a podcast. I'm still trying to decipher what they mean by it, but they're saying that even if they are speaking to someone who they do not agree with, someone whose point they do not respect, they will still be kind to them. Keep in mind, kind is not the same as nice, but they will be kind to them.
It's not respect either.
Well, I didn't say respect. They said they would be. Words where they would be kind, not necessarily saying the words nice. And the inference that they made was, if it's someone that was just a friend of theirs, they might just be kind, and like kindness can just mean you hear it, you don't agree, but maybe you'll just stay silent. Being nice might be you may want to check them on it, but you'll stay like, hey, that's really the hell nice. I'm not saying that you can't believe that, but that's not really. Like, let's try to respect their point of view. Let's just like that might be nice. Kind can be someone who's just like, that's how you feel? I feel a little different. And they just stay quiet. No, I'm not. I don't. You can feel that way, but I'm just going to feel different. And there are people who take homage with that. How do you feel about that? Do you think that's something?
I was if you notice, it takes me a long time to answer because I was so confused. I didn't know what the fuck he was talking about, and I was like, what? Like an homage? I don't know if that I don't know if that means what you think it means, but y'all know that meme from The Princess Bride where he's like, I don't think that word means what you think it means. But what do you call it? I'll answer that. Okay. Zero says, kindness is genuine care and benevolence, and hold on, I can't see what that word is. And nice is simply okay. You know what? I can agree with that. But to answer his question, I operate with respect for everybody, but not kindness or niceness. I will respect what you were saying, and I won't undermine what you're saying unless we are in terms where my audience is listening, or where my existence in this space, or intelligence, or whatever is being called into question with your point. Like, I respect everybody, but I'm not nice or don't go at them. But the thing is, I do not platform anybody and everybody. I will not engage anybody and everybody. Respect has nothing to do. Respect. Well, yeah, you're right. But within the context of what he's talking about, I think that is more likely where the conversation, what the terms that the conversation existed that he's talking about is: are you respectful to people and allow them to like get their point off, or are you not, or whatever, or y'all know what I'm saying. But I couldn't make sense of what he was saying. And The Princess Bride is fire. If you have not seen that movie, go see it, or not go see it, but you should watch it.
Someone who does not believe in what you believe in, you should go out of your way to correct, or do you believe?
No, and that's been a common theme in wrestlers' discussions, as he talks about correcting people's wrong beliefs, and that is a very dangerous notion, in my opinion. I do not understand like where the authority comes to correct somebody's belief, but he said this many times.
That if this is a person that's within your circle, you should be kind.
I mean, I don't think I don't consider it a correction, if it's a belief. But I don't. I will be kind. Yes, I will be kind to anybody speaking to me, but I don't give everybody's words critical thought. I don't allow myself to ingest stupidity.
And you know what? The thing is, I wish Ressa could understand what I'm saying, because I actually think that him not understanding it has contributed to what issues he has with his panel, because he says you should respect what anybody has to say, listen to them all equally, and take in what they're saying and think critically about it all equally. And look at what happens when you do that. There are too many misinformed people in the world to let the group lead you, basically, is what I'm saying. And that's truly how I feel. You can disagree with it, but there are too many dumb people, too many misinformed people for whatever reason, for you to allow yourself to be led by the group, of any group. A waste of valuable time to do that. I agree.
To the best.
Like the understanding is in your heart or in your brain or whatever, your soul, whatever. Like, you know how to think, man. Like, that's the problem though too, is that people want to defer to the smartest person to think for them. And it's like, bro, you don't have to rely on somebody else's intelligence.
My ability.
What if it's not stupidity? What if it's not stupidity, but it's just a reference of a difference of opinion?
Oh, I'm cool with that for sure. I mean, I would rather be surrounded by people that don't agree with me, with opinions than people.
And I will say this, is that if there's one thing that I have proven time and time again on YouTube, it's that. And in a subtle way that you might not have noticed, but I will explain. I refuse to gang up with people on anything. Like, I like to stand completely independent in my thoughts, and I will share my thoughts, and I will even take the wisdom I can find in other people's thoughts, but I will not be a part of like group thinking. And oftentimes what that has presented itself as is, I will say something and then too many people will try to gang up with what I'm saying, and it instantly makes me take the other position, the opposite position. And because I genuinely value like the other side of things. Like I want to know the other side of things. I already know what I think. I want to know like the other side of the thought.
Will do. I would actually take that as a great thing. The problem that I run into with a lot of people, both adults and even younger people who are becoming adults, is that if they don't find someone who finds, I'm going to be generous, 70% of what they agree upon, because the 30% they're just not really sure if the person even agrees or not. Just go keep it a buck. That they'll accept that, but the moment it dips below that 70, there is a big criticism. And the point that I'll give to is that someone who has been to Korea, no one that we know, because we know somebody who's in Korea, but they go there to Korea, and because Korea doesn't know so much about the outside world, as a teacher, they teach their students about the outside world, about Russia, about China, about the US. And then the people who learn things in Korea say things like, well, we just learned about COVID and we were never around for that. So I don't want to trust all Chinese people, which was not the lesson, but now they're moving that way. Okay, I just learned that Russia is attacking Ukraine. I don't want to rock with them, which is not the lesson, because we don't want to teach that the ambitions of a particular sector not reflect upon everybody, right? But people do that. What do we do in that instance? Well, now, this is why I say the act of being nice versus being kind. Because as an educator, was it nice of that person to educate these other people? Or should they have been kind and stay quiet, leaving the people in ignorance?
Well, it's most definitely them going out of their way, so that is thoughtful of them. It's a positive thing, in my opinion. The onus is on, discernment, dog. The most important word in humanity, in the Bible,
Sure. Well, I'm happy you said that. Not everybody follows the Bible, so we cannot say that discernment is only learned through the Bible.
No, but it's true. But that's where I learned about it, and I feel like it's the most important word in life.
But not everybody understands words to be the same. So, for instance, discernment is not the same as discipline.
True, but discernment is the ability to know and for yourself, for your own well-being, and the
like it's so confusing to try to because dude, most times I can see well, no, I'm not even gonna say that because I see what I see, but I'm doing everything I can to find another explanation because I don't know. But what he said right there, I don't understand why he said that. Like what is he talking about? Like that's what I find myself saying a lot. It's like what the like in my head, it's like what the fuck is he talking about? Like okay, bits and pieces make sense in a vacuum and here and there, but it's like discernment means different things to different people. Well, fuck, that's people's issue. Discernment has a definition though. Like discernment means different things to different people. Discernment isn't discipline. What the fuck you talking about? Like that's what I want to say so much. It's like, what are you talking about? Of course, discernment isn't discipline. I don't know why you would draw the parallels. That's why I say that's an issue of alliteration. They sound similarly, and I think that wrestler is fond of alliteration, but what do you call it? Discernment has a definition. People might have their own definition, but it still has a clear-cut definition. And if Ressa remembers, as he says all the time, the words already have a meaning assigned to them. And the thing is, the reason why I have an issue, we didn't get to this point, but I'll go ahead and speak on it. The reason why I have an issue with that kind of questioning is you should never police the information, because the recipient has issues with how he receives it. The disseminator of information should disseminate the information. You cannot hold everybody's hand and get them to understand things the way that they should. It's your job to just give the information. Like, you can't help if people, like in the hypothetical he gave, you can't help that if people decide to look at it that way and say they don't want to fuck with China no more. Like, you can give motivations or inspirations to not feel that way, but if they choose to feel that way, they choose to feel that way. It's the recipient of information's job to use their discernment and apply what is best for their life to themselves and let the rest go.
Failure is in the schools and the way that we raise kids here in the United States, at least.
No. Discernment is to be able to ascertain and make the best decision available.
Well, to be able to sort through information and
the current information available. Yes.
Yeah, and people aren't able to do that. And what do you call it?
But discipline is different. Discipline is information already given in spite of new information that is obtained.
I mean, I don't.
Now, what did he just say?
I didn't.
Is information already
And
the current information available? Yes.
Yeah, and people aren't able to do that. And what do you call it?
But discipline is different. Discipline is information already given in spite of new information that is obtained.
That's like, I swear I can't even, like, that's like a couple negative or some shit. I don't even know. I can't even understand it. I can't even understand what he's saying.
People aren't able to do that.
Decision available.
Well, to be able to sort through information and
the current information available. Yes.
Yeah, and people aren't able to do that. And what do you call it?
But discipline is different. Discipline is information already given in spite of new information that is obtained.
I mean,
information already given in spite of new information already attained. Can anybody help me out to break down what that means? Because, like, so many of those words cancel each other out.
I don't do that. And what do you call it?
Available.
Well, to be able to sort through information and
the current information available. Yes.
Yeah, and people aren't able to do that. And what do you call it?
But discipline is different. Discipline is information already given in spite of new information that is obtained.
I mean,
Okay. Information has the unspoken implication that it is new to you. I mean, just in conversation. So let's see, word by word. Let's go word by word, because I can't even. I swear to God, my brain is like fucking cramping up.
I don't do that. And what do you call it?
But discipline is different. Discipline is information already given.
Okay. Information has the connotation of some info or some ideas or thoughts or concepts or whatever that are new to you, just in conversation. But he says already, which means that they were already there. But then he says given, which means that it is a new that it is a new idea. So those three already cancel each other out twice. Information already given,
In spite of new information that is obtained.
in spite of, which means in contradiction to, new information that is already, that like every single word in that sentence contradicts each other. I think I'm gonna have a fucking aneurysm trying to understand what he just said. And then fuck, I can't even, my brain is like stopping literally, like can't even fucking think. Cause he had to have known or like had an idea behind what he was saying. What could it be? Information already given in spite of new information already attained. I swear to God, my brain is just like, it actually hurts. I don't know. I think fuck, I don't know. I'm exhausted. I'm gonna be thinking about that for a minute. Information already given. I mean, how does that amount to a definition of discipline, or even like a I don't even fucking know. I don't know. All right, guys. I think the point has been illustrated thoroughly enough. I think that we have come to the conclusion that the wrestler might have some subconscious issues with me as a messenger, but I wish that he would get to the point to where he learns how to engage with the message, because to all appearances, it is seeming to me that he is not capable, when I have faith that he actually is capable. Now, other than that, man, I hope that you guys are blessed up. I hope that y'all. Okay, thank you, Jen. Thank you. I thought I was tripping, or I don't know if I'm tripping or what. Like, maybe my brain is just tired, but I can't. Like, I'm trying to put those words together in my head, and I just can't get it. But that's a good stopping point. Maybe we might finish the conversation, because we haven't even gotten to the point to where the conversation actually devolves. This was the part of the conversation I was happy and proud of to have with him, because we were able to communicate effectively. But it gets to a point to where he shut down on me and just was like, nope. But we will continue that later on. For now, I'm going to get something to eat and do a couple of daily life things. Salute to y'all guys. I hope that you guys are blessed. Stay up, stay vigilant out there, man. Remember, there's your side, there's her side, and there's the blind side. Blind side news. Y'all be good. I'm out. Peace.